What's good, YouTube and Twitch? We're live to both, kicking off the stream with the YCS Portland after party, and the top cut was freaking insane. What a great entry into the metagame for the competitive 2020 season right after the UDS. We see an Altergeist player top once again, well, actually two of them, and one is Sutff. We also see a single True Draco. Of note, a Nekroz deck, a Gren Maju deck, and a Sub-Terror deck. We see Pendulums really max out here. They've been somewhat silent rumbling into the meta, with a lot of people thinking, wow, Pendulums are going to do really good, and then kind of being shocked at the UDS. Well, here they are in force, and it looks like we have around 4 players, I believe, topping with it, and then it looks like 5 Thunder Dragons, 5 Sky Striker, 5 Solomon Greats, and just a slew of Orcas. What a insanely awesome, diverse metagame. And thank you to Carlancho's store for providing these amazing graphics. It's almost like they should be doing the work for Konami, because what it looks like without, you know, Carlancho's store, kind of like this, a lot more boring, isn't it? We have so many top competitors. Sutff taking down his second premier top, but he ran into Manav and lost in the top 32. World's point leader from earlier in the year, Gren Williams, notably in the top cut as well, and he goes pretty far. We see also Dominic Couch, YCS champion in his own right, in this top cut. It's pretty stacked. Hani Johari in here too. By no means was this a slouch of a top cut. And Asala made it as well. So many dominant, insane names here at YCS Portland, and it's this diverse, it's this awesome, this many different choices for decks. Let's go ahead and get into what the top 16 cuts down into, which is a huge portion of Salad Boys. Continuing on, so many people thought Salad was a weak option heading into this meta game. Orcust is the next, followed by Sky Striker and Thunder Dragon and Pendulum still, but 2 rogue options come along for the ride. Nekroz has 1 duelist still representing, and Gren Maju is still hanging in there at this point. We go into the top 8 with specific matchups, and we see Salad Boys falls off real hard in the top 16, with 1 advancing into the, well, actually 2 advancing into the top 8, so a couple, and Sky Striker takes over at this point with 3 different copies. We have 1 Orcust and 1 Pendulum, and Gren Maju really sticks in there and advances to the top 4 against Garen, and we see then also Brian Chen versus Joe and the Salad Boy versus Striker matchup we're very familiar with, and Salad Boys will fall here as we head into the finals with Yishan McNabb versus Brian Chen, where Gren Maju, its run finally falls, but it will not be silenced. This was an amazing showing. It's always a huge meme whenever Gren Maju happens to go very, very far. Nekroz in the top cut, top 16 no less. So many amazing moments from this tournament. It truly was an insane time. It's a good old Portland feel, isn't it? When we actually see, you know, Gren Maju make the finals. And it was actually with Golden Castle, as I understand it, and also Gizmek Orochi giving it new life. So many things people did not expect from the deck, and a mishmash that really helped it be more competitive, able to turbo out, and go very far, as we see here. Congratulations to Brian Chen, though. Another Sky Striker champion, I still gotta say. You did it. You beat the unexpected. I would say Widow Anchor's like the main way to stop a Maju, right? Like, yo, you got a Maju, nice Maju, Widow Anchor, but instead, like, he tore through Sky Striker duelist Garen Williams in the top 4. So that's very impressive. Now, going back through and looking at the coverage, there's some other interesting things happening at the YCS. Sutff got a feature round 10 going into the finals on the bubble for being able to the final round before top cut, and we see he's using those Dragon Shield sleeves he talked about. A nice little 2-0, I believe, as it starts at Duel 2 there. And he manages to make top cut in a feature match if you want to go check that out. The pairings, as I showed earlier, it's really interesting to see who had to start out where, some Texas duelists representing. And we also see the Giant card looks freaking nice. Konami's doing such a great job with the full-size Giant cards. Apollosa being Saturday's win. fully holographic. Boy, that's going to be one of the most expensive giant cards. Konami side events, prize walls, all that stuff keeps going up and up and up in value. I believe for this tournament, it's one of the first times the USA saw a prize wall, if I'm not mistaken, from coverage that I've seen at least. So they had chances for past playmats and giant cards and other things. Pretty cool. Is Sky Striker the best deck right now? Well, it did win, and I actually did call it going into the format to be that thing that is still here that people are underestimating, it feels like. Now, on a bigger note, as we head out into the good old world of the market and how the fallout has happened already. You're watching the video. The finals just ended. What could it's not even announced on the Konami site, right? What could possibly be happening? Gren Maju is a common that already has very, very few printings and very low rarities. OTS Super, please. But Golden Castle's the big story of the day, and there it goes. This is a shorter print out of Battles of Legend, and Jesus Christ, that is a huge donation out of nowhere.
Twitch. Everyone else should be too. Smiling.
Only Twitch? Jeez! I'll take a look at that later. Oh my gosh. These things happen live streaming. I'm actually going to be doing a new series we'll talk about, and you'll see within the channel that pertains to Twitch only. But Castle of Stromberg, let me gain my bearings, was like one of the shortest print cards out of Battles of Legend, and I warned that it has this collectability, playability feeling all mixed into one, yet it still went down and down and down in price, and here we are with it appearing in the finals. It's good as an engine, it's good as a card, and here it sees its max value once again, as this was like its pre-sale prices. I think hype will settle a little. We're not all about to become Gren Maju duelists, are we? We're not all about to do that, right? There has to be some originality in the game, and with how diverse the meta is, it's still really cool. But people scrambling for it right now are vendors looking to capitalize on hype, players freaking out that want to play Gren Maju and do the memes at locals, and then, who knows, maybe collectors who are like, I wanted it to go lower, but now's the time. Gizmek Orochi is creeping up. It was going down on the market, and here we see a great example of how it's a multi-deck. Like, whenever I talked about this on the market watches, I would sometimes throw in, yeah, it's also good in Gren Maju decks, as kind of the afterthought. Like, we're not just playing it in Gren Maju Stun because it's good for Orcust and other decks, because the stigma was, oh, this is great for Maju. Well, yeah, it's freaking great for Maju, and we see it creeping up right now currently. Let's refresh, because I've had this open for like 10 minutes. Yeah, still 1733, and there is a sale coming up, so if you can hold off, wait for the hype ride, there are 5% bonus bucks on TCG Player coming up just tomorrow, but the market waits for no man or sale. So do be aware, you're incentivized to shop TCG Player using my link in the description down below, supporting me directly, costing you nothing extra at all. I love that sales pitch. But seriously, if something happens with Magic, it turns into an 8% bonus bucks back, so the sale could get even better. I expect people to go in on the market, and what I really expect them to go in on is Nekroz as well. We already see Nekroz of Bryonic baby bumping up, and the Nekroz are so well priced, but they're all starting to peak up a little bit here during the YCS day, and I wonder why. It's been the perfect time to get them since Dual Power is released. We have the unlimited wave. Make sure you're getting yourselves first editions, and you can decide what versions of Nekroz you want. I expect max rarity to most likely really hit up there. Let's see if I'm still on Nekroz here. Yeah. So the max rarities have held pretty decent values. I don't expect them to be flooding back on the market anytime soon after this. And the super incantations, as to note, also were one of the cards that sold out on Tier 0's pre-sales under $1. So the incantations may be one of the more sought-after cards in the 10s after this for the super rares, but I still expect them to be relatively cheap. He cheated, though. Okay, look, guys. For everybody here that is reading feature matches, the feature match writer doesn't always get it right and sometimes has to correct it. I know Farfa has addressed it on his streams. It's been addressed in Zodiac. Sometimes things happen too fast for the writer to get down, and when we're not dealing with video coverage, some things get misput on the coverage site. Sometimes it's fixed later, sometimes it's not, but calling people cheaters when they either make a misstep, misplay, or the writer can get it wrong too, the history is not correct, big think, that does happens. So yeah, like, just calling people cheaters out there, stop that. Get some help. Stop that. But looking through here, it's been an amazing YCS, an amazing ride. I really enjoyed everything from Portland. What about you guys? Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. And if you're shopping TCG Player Sale tomorrow, support ya boy and use his links. Let's read chat real quick. Volk during Extravagance. Yeah, I've done that on accident on Dueling Book. I have literally done the same play where I activated Extravagance, I do combos throughout my turn, I start thinking about my next play, and I Valk while I've Extravagance. That's called not doing the right thing, because it's not necessarily cheating, it's an illegal activation. It's intentional cheating is different from an illegal activation. Cheating is meaning to do that and knowing you're wrong. Unintentional activation is not intentionally doing that, because this game is complicated as heck. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.